Well, hey there again, Manna family, and welcome to day 4. It is so good to be hanging out with you during your devotional time. Throughout this week, we have been looking at verses from Philippians chapter 2, and today we are going to cover some ground that has to do with obedience. And for today, we are going to look at the B in our word for this week, humble, which stands for obedience. Hope you caught the B there. So let's jump into our verse for today. We will be looking at Philippians chapter 2, verse 8, which says, "And being found in human form, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross." It is no small point to make that the way he humbled himself was through obedience. Every step he took was out of obedience to the Father. Jesus knew what was at stake. His perfect obedience is a major part of why we are able to receive his righteousness for our sin. Part of our worship to the Father is seen in the way that we obey his word and conduct ourselves on a daily basis. 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 22 actually says that to obey is better than sacrifice, and to listen than the fat of rams. Being obedient to God can be such a difficult thing to do if we are left to our own devices, because we are automatically wired to go against his will. But I'm challenged by Jesus' obedience in such a way that causes me to pause and take stock of my level of obedience. I would even say that obedience boils down to the idea of, am I going to do the right thing even if it is going to be uncomfortable for me in the moment? Even as I'm saying that, I start to think about all those little moments that are so easy to not obey. If I don't obey in the small things, how am I going to obey in the big moments? Obeying God is not simply following a list of rules or the do's and don'ts of the Bible. It is a sincere heart posture that seeks his will and direction in our lives on a daily basis. Another place Jesus displays this is when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane praying to the Father to take the cup from him. But Jesus was only interested in obeying God's will. And I think we can take a look at the depth with which Jesus obeyed his Father and audit those areas in our lives where we might still be allowing for the disobedience in our hearts to take precedence. So the practical application of what obedience can look like in our lives is a complete surrender to his will and his ways in our lives. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you back here tomorrow for more from Philippians chapter 2. God bless.